Let's be honest, we're all trying to get a better handle on the constant chatter inside our own heads, and lately a whole universe of tools has popped up, basically promising to help us map our own minds. So today, we're going to pull apart the modern mental health workbook and really see what makes it tick. I mean, it's a feeling we all know, right? That feeling of being totally overwhelmed by your own thoughts. We all have our little tricks, but what if there was a more structured way to navigate all that internal noise? To figure that out, we're going to dive into this, a huge digital bundle of therapy worksheets. Now, we're not reviewing this as a product or anything. We're using it as a kind of case study to deconstruct the psychological strategies that really power these kinds of self-guided tools. So, what's the fundamental idea here? What's the secret sauce? It's really all about one thing: externalization. The simple act of taking that swirling, messy internal world of thoughts and feelings and getting it out of your head and onto a page where you can actually look at it. Think about it. When feelings are just these abstract things floating around, they can feel enormous, totally unmanageable. But the moment you write them down, you give them structure. You turn them into something concrete you can observe. And just like that, you start moving from confusion to clarity. And that is the first step to actually doing something about it. So where do you even start? Well, before you can manage your mind, you kind of have to understand its operating system. This is the blueprint phase, figuring out who you are, right at your core. Worksheets like these are designed to do exactly that. You've got exercises like the Unmasking Myself worksheet, which is specifically for neurodivergent folks, people whose brains just work a bit differently, to help them explore their authentic selves. You get lists of value words to help you pinpoint what truly matters to you, and journals to map out what your ideal life even looks like. It's all about creating a foundational self-portrait. These workbooks also help you tackle some pretty core psychological concepts. Take this one, a change mindset worksheet. It helps you see if you believe your abilities are just fixed or if you see them as something you can develop. The whole point is to consciously shift from that place of avoiding challenges to actually embracing them, which, is a huge part of personal growth. And wow, this just shows you the power of a simple prompt. This is from my Autism journal. And this single question reframes identity. It's not about deficits. It's about a source of strength, of uniqueness. It's an incredibly powerful tool for fostering self-acceptance. Okay, so once you have a better sense of your own blueprint, the next step is to become a detective in your own daily life. This is where you start turning those subjective feelings into objective data that you can actually use. Check this out. This is a yearly mood log. The idea is so simple. You pick a color for each mood and you just fill in one square every single day. Over time, this super simple action creates this powerful visual tapestry of your emotional life. You can suddenly see patterns and cycles that would be completely impossible to notice otherwise. And of course, we're not just collecting data for the sake of it. Each time you track something, it's a tool for self-discovery. The real takeaway isn't the pretty chart. It's the aha moment that chart gives you about your own triggers and habits. And really, you can track almost anything. Your moods, your anxiety levels, how well you slept, if you stuck to a new habit, even really specific things like behavioral triggers or meltdowns. Every single data point is another clue to understanding the complex, amazing machine that is you. Understanding yourself is great, but it's only half the battle, right? This next set of tools is all about moving from just passively observing to actively making a change. This is where the workbooks get really hands-on. A classic example is something called the ABC problem-solving technique. This comes straight from cognitive behavioral therapy, or CBT, which is a type of therapy all about changing negative thought patterns. It's basically a structured way to dissect and actively change a thought that just isn't serving you. So let's just walk through this. A is the activating event, what literally happened. B is the belief, the story you immediately told yourself about what happened. C is the consequence, how that story made you feel and act. But here's where the magic happens. D is for dispute, where you challenge that story. And E is for creating an effective new belief, a more balanced, helpful way to see the whole situation. It's a clear, repeatable process for rewiring your thoughts. So, what about tackling something like fear? A lot of these workbooks use a concept from exposure therapy called a fear ladder, and the visual is just perfect. You don't just leap to the top of a building, you climb a ladder, one small, totally manageable step at a time. Here's how that actually works. Let's say your big fear is public speaking. The top of your ladder, maybe a 9 out of 10 on the fear scale, is giving a talk. But you don't start there. No way. You start at the very bottom with something that's just a 2 out of 10, like just writing down your main points. Then you work your way up, building confidence with every single step. Of course, progress isn't always a straight line up. Sometimes things just get tough. That's why a really crucial part of any mental wellness toolkit is about building a safety net, having a plan in place before a crisis hits. A safety plan or a resilience plan worksheet helps you do just that. You basically preload it with your own best thinking. You identify your personal warning signs, you list your most effective coping skills, you have the phone numbers of people you can actually call, and you even remind yourself of your own strengths. And this safety net, it isn't just for crisis mode. It's built day by day with proactive tools, things like a feel-good checklist or practicing simple breathing exercises. These things form the foundation. They build up your emotional resilience, so when things do get difficult, you're starting from a much, much stronger place. Ultimately, that's the real power of these tools. It's about taking the time when you are feeling calm and clear to write down your own wisdom, your own strategies, your own reassurances. It's having your own words ready to guide you when you can't find them in the moment. An affirmation from one of the worksheets puts it so well. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending everything's perfect. It's about a kind of radical self-acceptance. It's a reminder to just be present and to trust your own journey, which is really what all of these tools are ultimately trying to help you do. So I'll leave you with this question to just kind of chew on. Looking at your own life, your own internal world, what's one pattern, whether it's a thought, a feeling, or a behavior, that a single, simple page could maybe help you see a little more clearly?